During scale validation, exploratory factor analysis showed that the scale is two-dimensional, with 7 items defining the subconstruct conspiracy theory ideation and 4 factors defining the subconstruct skepticism. To confirm that the structure of the scale is two-dimensional, the researchers collected data from another group of participants and used that data to test a two-factor model in confirmatory factor analysis framework in AMOS. Let's draw the model. The scale is two-dimensional, so we need 2 latent factors. To draw a latent variable, you need to click on this icon here and then click on the white working area. And then, because the first factor is represented with 7 items, we're gonna click 7 times on it. And our 7 indicators variable will be drawn. And because the second subfactor has only 4 indicator variables, so we need to click 4 times on it. Now I'm going to rotate the objects by clicking on the rotate button and then clicking on my variables. And I will also resize the working area by clicking on this icon here. Finally, what is left to do is draw the covariance between the 2 subconstructs. Okay, now we have drawn our model. Now we need to name our variables. To name the latent variable, we can either right-click or double-click on it and then select Object Properties. And in the Text tab, where it says Variable Name, we're gonna write the name for the variable. This is our first factor called Conspiracy Theory Ideation, so I'm just going to write CTI for short. And then I will click on the second subfactor and write SK, which is short for skepticism. Now I can also name the indicator variables by double-clicking on them, and this text box will appear, but there is an easier way to do it. First, you will need to load the data file. So that's the dataset 1. To browse for your dataset, just click on file name and then find the data unit. So my data is already preloaded, so I'm gonna click on OK. And then I will click this icon here where it says list of variables in dataset. And all the variables in my dataset will appear. Now the only thing I need to do is drag and drop them. So this is the first item of the conspiracy theory ideation scale, the second, the third, and the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And I will continue to do the same thing for the subscale skepticism. So the first item, the second, third, and fourth. Now what I need to do is name the disturbances or the error terms. So I will right click or double click on them and just write E1, E2, E3, E4, etc. So this is E5. And I'm gonna continue with E8, E9, E10, and E11. Okay, now to calculate the estimate, we need to click this icon. And then to request the output, we're gonna click on View and Text Output. Now let's have a detailed look at the output. On the Notes for Model, AMOS displays the sample size. On Variable Summary, it lists all the variables in the model. It also gives the count of the variables by type of variable. The parameter summary gives the summary of the parameters. So, for example, it says that we have 13 fixed weights and 9 unlabeled. And just to show you what it is, the fixed one are all the arrows with 1 on them, So that would be these 11 plus these two, and the 9 are the ones, the arrows without any label on them. So those are the unlabeled. The tab Notes for Model gives you summary of your model. It provides the information about distinct sample moments or elements in the sample covariance matrix. In other words, the number of pieces of information provided by the data. It also provides the number of parameters to be estimated. The Estimates tab gives you the parameters estimate, and as you can see here, all the parameters are significant. The Minimization History tab just tells you how many iterations were needed to reach the final solution. Finally, in the Model Fit values, we see the chi-square value and its degrees of freedom, and the Comparative Fit Index, Tucker-Lewis Index, and the root mean square error of approximation.